Hi everyone, welcome to the YouTube live session. So our campaign for the DUEX Lite and the DUEX Plus, that campaign is ending in, I think, on Friday morning around 10 o'clock Eastern time. And I just want to take this opportunity to answer any questions that anybody may have. So feel free to type it into the chat. And while I'm waiting for questions to come in, I'm just gonna give this a similar demo that I did last time during our last live session. So our products are the DUEX Lite and the DUEX Plus. The DUEX Lite is 12.5 inches, while the DUEX Plus is 13.3 inches. They're both 1.3 pounds. So they, let me just show you real quick. This is the DUEX Lite. It comes in two colors, both white and gray. The magnets clip into these slots, which allows the screen to slide against the back of your laptop. And then you could slide out this display, pivot, and adjust it to your liking. Additionally, this is a prototype kickstand, but the kickstand is available as an add-on. So the magnet pucks locks into place, and by lifting up the back, the kickstand could position itself. It's quite adjustable. The forces on the back of the kickstand cancel themselves out, so it'll rest in any position. The DUEX Plus is also compatible with Android devices and Nintendo Switch. As you can see here, here's a plus on the table. The Switch is hooked up, and we have Pokemon on. And yeah, it works just like any other display. I had a request from a backer to show how stable the monitor is while connected to the back of a laptop. Our previous generation products required the user to seat the base of the monitor against the tabletop. Only then will the monitor support itself. Now, this generation, they're only 1.3 pounds, so they could pretty much free hang off of the back of the laptop. So I'm going to give a demo of that. So the DUEX Lite is on the back of a MacBook Pro, 13-inch MacBook Pro. So it's basically just hanging off of it. It doesn't fall off, nor does it need the base for support. Somebody asked me to shake this thing to see how stable it is. I really don't recommend that, but I will give a demo. So I'm gonna shake this display, and it's on there pretty good. And I don't think anybody would shake it any more than this. So that brings me to the magnets. The original magnets, there are metal plates that adhere to the back of the laptop. A lot of our customers gave us feedback saying that they didn't want this invasive looking metal plate on the back of the laptop. If there's any way to make it smaller or more discreet, we thought really hard on how to get rid of these things completely, but it's just really hard designing a contraption that's a one-size-fit-all for any type of laptop. But we were able to shrink the magnets down quite a bit. So these are the new magnets, and adhere to the original. They're quite a bit smaller. So I'm hoping this is more acceptable. More people are gonna be willing to place this on the back of the laptop. And in any case, if you don't want it on the back of the laptop, you don't want the magnets exposed, the adhesive that keeps these pucks on the back of the laptop is nano glue, basically micro suction cups. It's not, despite the name glue, it's not actually glue. So imagine lots of suction cups sucking onto a flat surface. They pop right off. And the adhesives are reusable. You just have to rinse it, make sure there's no dust, let it dry, and it'll stick on again. However, we do ship additional adhesives, 3 sets of adhesives in case you need extra ones. And then as a result of the stretch goal being unlocked, everybody will receive an extra set of magnets. They're going to be black instead of silver. So you have black ones and silver ones, depending on which laptop you want. And then you're going to have another 3 sets of adhesives on top of it. So 2 sets of magnets, 6 sets of adhesives. If you need more for whatever reason, in the post-campaign survey, we're going to, you're going to be able to add more magnets, adhesives, kickstands, laptop bags, whatnot. So in the post-campaign survey. So let's take a look at the questions. So Cheryl asked, when will these be available to the general public? What will the prices be? I think most likely it's going to be available after we ship. So I don't know, we're going to start shipping in May, towards the end of May, and we have about 4,000 backers worldwide. It'll probably take us 2 to 3 weeks to ship everything out. Most likely, I'd say, by early June, it's a safe bet to purchase this in public. Most likely, it's going to retail around $300. Let's see. Hi, thanks for hosting this live event. Quick questions. I have an HP Spectre that measures 17.5 inches in diagonal and a 15.5 inch screen. Will this product work okay with my laptop? Do you foresee any issues? So yeah, so it sounds like you're using a 15.4 inch display. I know it's a little different, but 15.4 is the standard size. So the HP Spectre with the plastic enclosure is 17.5, but the diagonal on the display itself is 15.4, if that's what I'm understanding. There shouldn't be any problems. So all you have to do is, let me just show you real quick. So on a 13-inch laptop, you want to center the plus. If you're a 15.6 inch laptops, we've tested quite a few. You should still be able to center it. The screen slides on the magnets, so it actually slides out. It allows you to offset the screen while on top of the magnets. This will give you enough clearance. So this clearance should just make it over the 15.4 inch laptop, and then you could slide out the display on top of it. When you're done, simply push this back, and it's going to center itself back on the magnets again. So it should work. I don't see any problems. We tested it on a 16-inch MacBook Pro, a 15.4-inch MSI, and 2 additional 15.4-inch laptops we have in our office. I don't foresee any problems. If for whatever reason you want to mount it on a 17.3-inch laptop, or your laptop just really has a really thick bezel, you'd have to offset the magnets a little bit. As long as it's not placed in the middle, you'll still have enough travel to use the screen on one side. The downside is you won't be able to use it on the left and the right. You'll just have to stick with one side. That's all. So any plans to make a touchscreen version? Yeah, so there's no plan for that yet. The reason is our displays are designed to hang off the back of your laptop. It slides out, and you're tilting it to adjust the viewing angle. By making a touch, you would be pressing this, and it's going to wobble. We really didn't think that's going to add to the user experience. It's not really designed for it to stand alone by itself. Maybe when we create a different sort of different product line that doesn't hang off the back of the laptop, there's more support behind the display, then it'll make more sense to make it a touchscreen. Is the DUEX Plus an IPS monitor? Yes, it's a standard. It's a standard laptop monitor. Both the 12.5 and the 13.3 are used very popularly in just standard laptops. Unfortunately, I can't share the brand they're being used in due to some agreement we have to manufacture, but they're standard IPS 1080p displays, just like in most laptops. What is the biggest benefit to buying this versus using an iPad with a side-mounted magnet and my laptop with DUEX display software? That's a great question, and we pondered that ourselves. So to answer the question about DUEX display, now when we started the company 3 years ago, there's quite a bit of lag with DUEX displays, the wireless version at least. So the latency didn't give a great user experience. Now then you could plug it in, of course, but what happens when you plug it in is your iPad has a battery inside. When you plug it into your laptop ends up charging your iPad, which further drains your laptop battery unnecessarily. If you're stationary and you could plug it into a wall, obviously there's not much of a problem. But outside of that, I think it's really the simplicity of our user experience. It's on the back of your laptop always, we hope, and then just slide it out and plug in a cable. There you have it. With a DUEX, maybe you need additional tabletop. If you're in a train where you're very confined and the table is very small, or in an airplane, you can only fit a laptop. It's hard to find a place for your additional iPad. But going along that question, a lot of people ask, well, Apple came out with Sidecar. We don't even need DUEX anymore. That's a great point. I personally have an iPad Pro, and I use Sidecar sometimes. Now, the reason why we still think our product is relevant is as follows. First of all, you need an iPad Pro, I believe. So an iPad Pro price isn't exactly cheap. So I think the cheapest one is $799 or something. So if a person only needs an additional display, $799 wouldn't make any sense at that point. And then obviously the Sidecar only works with Mac. So people who use Windows wouldn't be able to benefit from that as well. Can you show the auto rotation on how it stands in portrait mode? I could try it. I'm not sure if the auto rotation works on this version. This is a prototype we have. The one we use to shoot the video is still with our videography firm. So let's try that. Let me see if people can see it. Okay. Okay, so essentially all you have to do is tilt it. It just rotated. I'm not sure if you can see it. There's quite a bit of glare. Maybe this is better. So it just flipped upside down again. Try again. So that's auto rotation. And for portrait mode, it's quite simple. You just fold it up. Now, for portrait mode, it doesn't auto rotate. You'd have to go into display settings. And manually rotate to portrait mode. Auto rotation works at 0 degrees and 180 degrees, which is the landscape mode. I answered that question already. Okay. Let's see. Yeah, so the next question is, what is the refund policy if you buy from Kickstarter? So Kickstarter orders are not refundable, and it's for very specific reasons. First of all, it's sold at a very steep discount compared to the regular retail price. Then on top of Kickstarter platform fees, credit card processing fees, we pay a hefty marketing agency fee, and then there's additional shipping fees involving international shipping and duty on top of it. So to refund the Kickstarter order, it's not practical at all. And by the time we receive our product and ship it out, we're really breaking even on the product. Kickstarter for us is to generate enough cash to pay for the order and not necessarily make money on the orders that are being sold through Kickstarter. So if there are any reservations to whether or not you're gonna like the product or not, right now, maybe it's better to wait until it goes on retail. In our own website as well as Amazon, obviously it's 30-day, no question asked return policy. But I do want to mention, although it's sold on Kickstarter, we do offer a 1-year manufacturer's warranty. For whatever reason that your product malfunctions, we will replace it for free. That's all. Okay, how does the display perform outdoors with potential sun glare? So yeah, great question as well. These are anti-glare displays. Let me see if I can find a light and show you. Your cell phone? They're coded to be anti-reflective. So here's a set of LEDs. And so let's compare this to the Mac. So, can't really see it.
Bring the Mac closer.
Yeah. Okay. On the Mac, I don't think it's very obvious. So on the Mac, you could see this is a high glossy display. So basically, it's reflective. So on an anti-glare display, you can't.
Put it to the back of the laptop.
Okay.
Put it back in.
Okay, this is probably better. Okay, so a glossy display looks like this. You could see a high reflection. White background probably isn't the best idea for this, but on ours, it's diffused. So it's really hard to sort of show it, but anti-glare displays, they diffuse the light, whereas Macs, they reflect the light. So I'm hoping this is a clear demonstration. And I don't think you're gonna have a point source pointing at your light like this, so it's probably not as exaggerated. Is there any plan to make a 4K version instead of 1080p? The answer is no, because our displays are USB powered. We wanted to make this portable. I know there is a trend to make creator devices, high resolution, much more powerful laptops. But the idea for this product is so it can be used by anybody. It's not so specialized, and the reason why it's not 4K is simple. We run it off of USB power. It doesn't have a battery in itself. And 4K displays has twice as much resolution, much higher, much more accurate power color profile. So it takes a lot more power. USB 3.0 isn't enough to power a 4K display. That's reason number one. Reason number two is 4K displays don't come in small sizes. For 12.5, 13.3 inches, 4K displays are pretty much non-existent. I know 14.1, they do make a 4K display, but the volume on that is really, really low. And for a small company like us, it's pretty much not possible to order. We don't have enough volume to make a custom order. We basically piggyback off of a lot of the existing orders, and there just isn't enough volume in the 14.1 inch. Sorry, I'm lost where I am on the sheet. All right. Right. So Kickstarter makes it very clear that you're supporting the idea of production and not buying a product itself. So I think that really, for me, that's the essence of Kickstarter. Our company wouldn't exist without Kickstarter. 3 years ago, when we launched the Duo, it's because of backers like yourself that made this a reality. Now, fast forward 3 years, this is our third campaign. Our product, along with our company, were much more mature. So I know that the idea here is to support the creator, support the project. But I think I'm pretty confident that everyone will receive the product that they paid for, and it's gonna perform without any worries. And this is our third iteration. There were a lot of problems in our first product, and then in our second product, we learned even more. So this is our third attempt at this product. I'm confident that everyone will be quite happy with it. Will you be upgrading the Trio to this newer technology that's in the DUEX Plus? Would love to see a thinner Trio. Yeah, definitely. So that's part of the plan. I can't say too much about it because a lot of things are still in the patent process. But the name Trio threw a lot of people off. I understand it was a bad call calling it Trio when we're only selling one display. So we're trying to fix that, and along with fixing the sort of the misleading name, we're gonna create a product that fits the name much better, and then by integrating all the parts together, I think we can create a much thinner Trio. That product, we're hoping to develop it this year, and really hoping to launch it next year. Yeah, I think we got to the bottom of the questions. Yeah, feel free to ask me anything. We have another 9 minutes. So we're really close to $1 million, which is great. Well, obviously great news for everybody involved. So I want to talk about the stretch goal. So a backer had asked us if it would be possible to add a proximity sensor to the DUEX Plus. And the answer is yes. At $1 million, we're going to add the proximity sensor to all of the DUEX Pluses. So basically it works as follows. There is a magnetic sensor hidden behind the bezel towards this side. When you slide the screen in, it's going to overlap with magnets on this side of the display. So once it overlaps, the display is going to shut itself off. So essentially, what this allows you to do is you could, leave the cable always plugged in. You don't have to unplug it to shut the display off. By sliding the display in, it's going to turn it off. And when you need to use it, all you have to do is slide it out. It's going to wake itself up. I think it's a pretty cool added functionality. Yeah, so if anyone has any questions, feel free to ask. Can we get a close-up of the Mac and the DUEX to see the difference in screen resolution? Sure. I'm using a webcam. I'm not really sure what I could show by it, but no, totally fine. So this is a Retina display. I think it's about 3K in resolution. I don't really have anything on the display itself, so I'm not sure if I see anything. But I will say this though. On a Retina display, it's using Retina resolution. That means like if you're doing normal things, it's a 13.3-inch display. If it's at 3K or 4K resolution, everything is going to be really small, essentially non-usable. What Retina resolution does is it, instead of using 1 pixel to depict exactly what that pixel should be depicting, it's using 3 or 4 pixels for that, essentially blowing everything up. So to us, a Retina resolution really means we're lowering the resolution of the display. So you can't really see 3K. It's only when you're using very specialized software that you require high resolution video editing, photo editing, enables you to keep zooming in. That's where your 3K or 4K resolution comes in. For everyday use, such as spreadsheets or watching videos, that sort of thing, because the display size is fixed, you're never going to get the full 3K or 4K resolution. That's why 4K TVs are humongous. Nobody makes a 24-inch 4K TV. Just wondering what are some of the main challenges faced with DUEX Lite and how you overcame it. Yeah, lots of challenges. I'm sure some of you may have heard there's a really terrible shortage in IC chips in the supply chain. It doesn't really matter what you're making. Everything requires IC chips. So we had quite a bit of IC chip shortage. And then also displays. Because of IC shortage, the display manufacturers now have a display shortage. So the cost of this product has gone up by 50% since the start of the project. That's why, when I said we're really not going to be able to make any money, especially on those super early birds and early birds, that's the reason behind it. Now, on top of that, there's quite a bit of transportation issues as well. So I heard there's port congestion happening in Long Beach Port in Los Angeles, where all of our stuff ships into. And due to port congestion, freight prices has increased. When we started this company, a 40-foot freight will cost something like $1,800. The most recent one I booked was $10,000. So it's gone up by 5x. So a lot of cost. So, our thinking is this. We still want to sell this at a competitive price. We want people to adopt our products and essentially become our brand ambassadors when they go to work or go back to school. So, and the hope is that the cost is going to come in control later in the year. And because we have these brand ambassadors, we have our market share already, we'll be able to reap the benefits of this investment later. I hope that answers your question. A quick demonstration of presentation mode. So normally this works best with PowerPoint. I don't have a PowerPoint file on this laptop, but essentially what it does is you just swing the display around. By folding it behind you, someone sitting across from you could share your display. Now, what's great about presentation mode or Google Slide is when you go into presentation mode, you get your notes as well as the current display and the current slide and the next slide on the main screen on the presenter side, and the viewer will only see the slide that's being presented. That part is automatic, and we're not going to take any credit for that. It's PowerPoint and Google Slide software, but it works out quite nicely. Can we change the resolution of your display only on a Windows PC? That was a limitation on the previous generation product. So you could change the resolution on Macs as well. And also it works within USB-A and USB-C. You'll be able to change the resolution. I think we enabled 4 different resolutions in there, from 1080p, 720p, and then 2 smaller resolutions. I think that should cover most use cases. You mentioned it works centered on a 16-inch Mac, which is 14.09-inch wide. My laptop is 14.88. Knowing the exact laptop with threshold that allows both sides would be helpful. I don't have that number exactly, but do you want to measure the 15.6-inch MSI to see what the width is? So Steven is going to go measure one of the 15.4-inch laptops that we tested on. And if that width is smaller than 14.88, then, then it will work. So just give me a second. 14?
16, that's 16 inch.
Right. So yeah, we don't have a laptop that wide. So Steven, if your laptop is a 17.3-inch laptop, then it's probably not going to work. You'd have to offset it so it works on one side. But if it's a 15.4-inch laptop, we don't have one in the office that wide. I could find out for you and later put it under an FAQ. But if it's 15.4, I think most likely it's going to work. Okay, would it impede tablet function on 2-in-1 laptops? That's a great question. So we bought an HP Envy and a Lenovo Yoga and tested our magnets on the back of those. And it works out perfectly. The magnets are low profile enough that it doesn't impede the 2-in-1 from folding over completely. So it's flush. And the magnets does not affect touch function at all. So that's not a worry. I would do a demo, but we returned those laptops after we tested them. I want to see if it will fit in my laptop sleeve. What are the exact dimensions of the Plus? Yeah, so 8.46 times 12.25 times 0.58. Those are the outbound dimensions. That's exactly it. It's smaller than most laptops. So I think for a laptop sleeve, if it's really tight, you just have to worry about the thickness. And oh, sorry, it's not 0.58 inches. I think it's smaller than that. The thickness, I think it's this is sorry, is that so Stephen, the dimension you just sent out, is that the dimension of the sleeve or the dimension of the Plus? Are you asking? Sorry, I'm a little confused. Let me see if I could. Oh, he said plus. All right, just give me 1 second. Just want to check one thing. Okay, yeah. So, that depends. So those dimensions are that of the Plus, and that's smaller than most laptops. So think of it as, I guess, taking two small laptops and putting them in the sleeve. I think it should work. The sleeve we sell will definitely work. Well, it's a laptop case. I wouldn't really call it a sleeve, but that'll definitely work. And we actually pair that with the Trio, where a lot of people place two Trios into the laptop sleeve along with their laptop. So that bag will definitely work. In any case, I just want to show how low profile the Plus is. I mean, it's pretty thin, and the highest point is over here. That's the 0.58 inch, and in the middle is 0.25. It's a pretty low profile product. I think it shouldn't have any. I don't think it'll have any problems. Cool. Well, thank you everyone for joining us tonight. I hope the presentation is really helpful. If anyone has any questions or any other thoughts, feel free to leave on the comment board or send us a message. We normally respond within the hour. So does anyone else have any questions? Well, thank you again, everyone, for joining us. Yeah, hopefully, looks like we're on our way to $1 million, and well, that would be great. It would be awesome. So thank you again. Spread the word. We're really close. Thanks, guys.